Hey everyone, today is, what is today? Today is Monday, May 29, 2017, 11:41 a.m. here. My name is Danny and this is my vlog. A vlog is, of course, about different things that I just feel like talking about. Could be whatever's on my mind, whatever interests me, and so forth. So, I just want to time this just to make sure that I'm not going too over that I could. Alright. So, if you remember my last vlog, I just showed you a little bit about I talked about some different things that I bought, and in my last vlog I talked about that I bought some globes. So I actually bought two, and in my last vlog I showed you the other one, which was the more traditional globe that's typically, and is for me anyways, brownish color, and it's a very kind of objective, rather serious but nice looking, and it just has enough detail that demarks pretty much everything. So all the continents, all of the countries, all the geometric and geographic locations, the longitudes, latitudes, all those boundaries. And I also bought this globe that's right in front of me right now, and I wanted to save it for this time because the other time I wanted to show the other one whereas I needed a high lighting, a very illuminated place show of the globe. But in contrast, this one here, I would need a dark setting, which is why I purposely chose a dark setting for this vlog. And I apologize for those who have a hard time seeing everything, but it had to be a dark setting so that I could show off this globe. So again, this globe that I have right now is different from the other one, whereas it's a little more expensive, and the reason it's a little more expensive is because it basically has lighting from the inside, and when you turn on the lighting, which I'm about to do in a second, it really, in a very nice way, shows you a lot of the geographic regions through a lighted experience, and it looks especially nice in a darker area, hence this darker area. So I'm just going to show that to you right now. Just have to find the switch here. Okay, so if you take a look at it now, and in a couple seconds I'm going to turn on the light. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. It's on. Pretty cool, right? So here you can see North America, and then underneath it, of course, is South America. And you can see that the equator is illuminated too, right? And as I spin it around, then you can see all different parts of the world. I'm no geographic expert, so I'm not going to say things to embarrass myself thinking that it might be the wrong areas, but I'm just going to show you guys a lot of it. And it's very pretty, right? Very, very pretty. Pretty nice to show off to your friends if you have them over and stuff, I guess. It's definitely, apart from being functional, as if you want to look something up, if you have guests over and stuff, it's a very nice way to decorate your home without being too tacky or anything like that. So this globe is still pretty new to me, so I haven't really had the time to examine too much of it. I'm not too sure exactly, and maybe someone who has this globe can tell me. I'm not too sure about what the functional reasons are for the lighting. But yeah, so I'm just going to spin it around a few times, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some light in here so that you guys can actually take a look at the globe and see it from a lighted environment. So I'm just going to show this off a little bit more because I think it's just so pretty, right? And our world is just so small. If I can just kind of spin it around here like a small soccer ball. We all live in a very small world. So So yeah, now you can see the globe from a normal lighted experience, a normal lit environment, and yeah, it's still pretty. It's still quite nice even when you don't have to see it through the darkness of it. And then if I turn it on, so it's the light, the inside light is off right now, and then I just turned it on, and off, then on. Okay, so alright, so yeah, I just really felt like showing you guys that because I think it's just so cool. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a few things. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is because a lot of my followers are people that I am associated with soccer, because I do organize some soccer stuff. I organize pickup soccer games, and so I just wanted to comment on that and say that yesterday, I think it was yesterday if I remember properly, yesterday afternoon, which was a Sunday, we had a game, and I was pretty happy with it. Because it had been raining and stuff for quite a few days beforehand, and so we finally got a day where the sun broke through, It was sunny, although it was a little chilly. But again, all you got to do is just run around a bit and warm up, and you'll soon be heated up. Although the numbers were good, and we had a nice game, a smaller game, because I brought my nets. It could have been better, and so I think the numbers could have been a little bit better, because there were quite a few days before that where, like I said, it rained, and usually on weekends we can usually always expect the numbers to peak on like a Saturday and or Sunday, because people are just off work and school and stuff. And so being it a weekend, and being that the only game on the weekend, I was expecting the numbers to be quite a bit higher than that. So based on that, there's a little concern where I always assess our last game based on what I'm going to do for the next one. And so if I'm looking at planning the next game, because this one on Sunday had a little of a lower turnout for a weekend, I'm going to be conservative when I plan my next one. Therefore, if I'm thinking of planning like one game or maybe 2 games a week, if the numbers are low, I'm going to keep it to 1 game a week. If the numbers would have been higher yesterday, I may have added another one to extend it to 2 week, right? But it's also a low number, considering also the number of people that I advertise it to. If I think of all the people that I advertise it to, which is really a few hundred, the number that came out yesterday was very small, a very small ratio, a very small percentage of all the people that I advertised that game to. And so not very happy about that, because it's also very disrespectful for me that I'm going through all the time and energy and trouble of organizing the game, and people are just not respecting my time very much. It's kind of insulting. So yeah, okay. Moving on, let's talk about sports. I guess in the NHL for hockey, I don't really follow hockey that much, but I think that the last Canadian team was either the Edmonton Oilers or the Ottawa Senators, and I think or maybe the Calgary Flames. Actually, I think the Ottawa Senators were just eliminated, and so it's either Edmonton or Calgary. I think that Calgary is the only one that's still in it. So yeah, let's go Canada. Rooting for Canada. I think I knew that Sidney Crosby, a Canadian superstar, was diagnosed with a concussion, so I'm not too sure if he's back in, but hopefully he is. What else in sports? Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Yeah, I heard that someone on social media that I don't really know that well, they went to a game with 2 friends, and they found out that the game was sold out, and so their only option was to, I think she said that she went on some rooftop patio where you can sort of drink cheaper beer, and she said something like that you could watch the game from the background. So I don't know really what that means, if they can't really see the game from all the way there or not, but that's kind of crappy. So I think you really have to, if you really want to see a Toronto Blue Jays game, you have to buy a ticket in advance, because they all sell out, and that kind of thing is going to happen. What else? Soccer. I read some weird reports not the reporting wasn't so good. Whether stuff about Leo Messi, whether he got into that taxation trouble. So I'm not sure if he's actually going to go to jail for around 2 or 3 years, or he just has kind of like one of those suspended sort of conditional sentences where he's just put on probation and he doesn't have to go to jail. So the reporting on that has been pretty crappy. So the journalism, I'm really not too impressed about. What else in sports? So let's just move on now to TV, or actually music. So for music, I want to talk about Ariana Grande for a little bit. I'm really not much of a fan of hers because her music is not really something that I'm into, and her persona. But I just want to talk about what happened in Manchester just recently. That it definitely was such a sad and tragic event of what happened. And it's kind of weird because they said that attendance had 21,000, which really surprised me because that's a huge number, especially for someone of like an Ariana Grande. That's a very huge number. I think that when U2's doing their Joshua Tree tour, and they only have 2 Canadian dates, one in Vancouver and one in Toronto. And the one that they did in Vancouver a few weeks ago, I think there were 29,000 people, and that was too many people because people who were in line for hours and hours like didn't even get in on time. And so like 21,000 is not that far from 29,000. And so apart from like definitely all of the just tragedy of it, if you think of like the U2 concert in Vancouver where you have to get in like hours and you have to line up hours and hours before. Now with what happened in Manchester, where almost kind of everyone may have to be frisked or put through metal detectors, and people are going to have to even like stand up in line like even a few hours more just to get in on time, which is ridiculous. Which is just another reason why like these terrorists just have to just go away. And it's just really strange because what's happening now is these terrorists they're just going after these random innocent people who have nothing to do with their cause, right? Like Ariana Grande's music and like nothing to do with their terrorism, and like her demographic, just like teenage girls, preteen girls, nothing to do with their cause. I can think of actually one cause where Ariana Grande is American, so I'm kind of thinking that they probably targeted her because she's American, because they have some sort of animosity against Americans, but just horrible. And I mean, the world works by way of money, and you cannot help but also talk about, aside from the sadness of what happened, and like, I mean, if Ariana Grande had a concert in Manchester of 21,000, you know, and she was going to play in London the next week, which would have been a much higher attendance. Like, just think of all of the money that she lost, and she had to also cancel all of her other European dates. Yeah, so these terrorists, you have to remember that like they're definitely ruining it for everyone. I mean, if you think of all of the money that area and the Grand West also too, because in that business, fans can just come and go. But yeah, I really just want to just say how sad that it is that happened to all of those young lives. That's just horrible. TV. I don't watch much TV, but I've always watched the TV show Survivor, the American version, and I was really like mad because I watched like every single episode online, and that went over, if I remember, like a 3 or 4 month period. And then when I went to watch the finale and the reunion show, they decided to not post it. And like it seemed like they, meaning Global TV, which is my provider here, or the TV station here that provides that to me, and like I was so mad that they didn't like post it. And all I can think of is the reason that they didn't post it was because they're trying to get people to pay rather than just give it out for free. But the problem is that if you don't post it, like especially within a certain amount of time, because spoilers are just everywhere, like you're just basically ruining it. And like people aren't really going to pay for one episode or to watch a TV show, and so people are just going to like watch it somewhere else. Like, and for me, like I guess what happened is that they posted it like 2 days later or something, so they might have just changed their mind. But by then that would have been too late, and I'm not just going to like read about the spoiler on Google. That's just a horrible way to get spoiled, so I had to like watch it somewhere else. And so I was really disappointed by that, and I don't think I'll ever like risk watching anything through global TV again, because I cannot risk like having my time wasted over a 3-month period and ruining an entire season like that. So let's move on and talk about movies. I heard that I'm a big Terminator fan, and I heard that the Terminator Genesis trilogy, which was supposed to start with the Genesis, which was the last one because it bombed, they're scrapping that, the Genesis trilogy, and so they're rebooting, and the reboot is going to be done by James Cameron. James Cameron is the original director, but he's going to produce the next one. And although he's not going to direct it, which is a pretty big negative also, but I don't know. Like, I think, in my opinion, if James Cameron came back, he should do like the full job, like as a director. And I think just being like doing it half as just a producer, I don't think it's good enough. But I don't know if they can save it. Schwarzenegger is coming back again. So what other movies? That new pirate movie from Johnny Depp, I heard that it was just, the critics are saying it's pretty bad. They're saying it's boring. And there's the plot line is terrible, and although they spent like almost $300 million or something like that, so that franchise needs to end too. Just looking at a bunch of pretty like pirate ships, it's not good enough anymore when it gets to like the 5th or 6th installment. Um, yeah. Netflix. House of Cards is coming up in a few weeks. I've watched every House of Cards season, but and I probably will watch the next one. But I've heard like critics talking about it where like it's just to the point now when I agree it's just unbelievable. Like where like maybe he could have done that stuff as maybe as high as a vice president, but there's no way that like he could have just managed his way to crookedly do all of that to actually become president of the USA. That just would not happen. And to keep that movie interesting, they're going to keep having to show him do corrupt stuff as a president, and there's no way that he could ever get away with any of that because every single move that the president does is completely magnified. But it's entertainment. But I really see that the House of Cards franchise needs to end soon, or else it'll just become very embarrassing. Yeah. So there's like 2 minutes left I can see until my camera fills up. So might as well just use these extra 2 minutes to talk about something. Yeah. So yeah, this globe is pretty neat. So if I can see where I am, well, I know where I am, but hopefully you can see where you are. Some of you may be close to where I am. Some of you may be far from me. So yeah, like I'm in I'm located right now. I'm in Eastern Canada. So I don't know if people are how far people are from me or not or whatever. So yeah, so there's just a few more seconds left to this. I don't think I really want to start another topic because I won't have enough time to talk about it. Alright, so I'm just going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. Alright, see ya. Take care.